Taurus, welcome to your 2020 Wheel of the Year Guide to the Retrogrades. Alright, this is just going to be going over the planetary retrogrades and when they're going to be affecting everyone, along with the energy specific to your sign as we transition through 2020. It's not quite as intense as last year, but there is some bold points where a lot of stuff will be hitting you at one time, and if you know those waves are coming at you, then you know how to avoid them better, or you at least know how to surf them and keep your head above water. If this helps you out, remember, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's go ahead and get started. I checked your readings for last year, your Wheel of the Year reading and your Midsummer update. And it was all about transitioning last year. Transitioning and learning how to be part of a team. And coming together in an understanding with a lot of transformative energy. I see a lot of transformation happen for you guys last year. And that's the energy, that transformation energy. You're bringing that in to this season. Now, we're going to be starting with Yule, December 21st. And the energy that you're bringing in now compared to last year is the Queen of Pentacles. Intelligence in business matters. Putting creative energy to work to create abundance for you. That's what you're bringing in now. That's what you're coming into yourself and realizing that you can create and manifest your own energy in a very beautiful way. I'm seeing compassion and intimacy. This is the Ace of Hearts here. And she's holding it to her own heart. So I see you coming into this year with a lot of self-love. You're proud of yourself for the things that you have done. And people around you are very proud of what you have done as well. I mean, if it was helping somebody or, like I said, I see a lot of teamwork going with this. So it's a lot of the intimate relationships around you that you've been working on, and you've really transformed your energy, and you came a long way in 2018. That is what you're going to be kicking off January with. Now, in January 20th, Uranus goes direct in your sign of Taurus. So a lot of people around you are starting to accept the new routine. They're starting to accept the new you. They're not constantly on guard that you're going to do something that an old toxic cycle are. They're starting to accept that you've actually grown. You've really come a long way, and they're starting to accept that. And you are going into February with this beautiful Ten of Cups energy. I mean, happy home life, communications are good, you know, all that good stuff, emotional satisfaction. And with this, we have the Five of Pentacles here. And this is reversed, so this is all overcoming those insecurities and a poverty type mindset. You finally feel worthy to receive all of this good energy. That is just beautiful for spring, for starting off an Imbolc. In between Imbolc and Ostara, we have our first Mercury retrograde of the year. It's going to be from Pisces to Aqua and back again. So this is a time to really reorganize your priorities. Aqua is a very enlightening sign. Pisces is very emotional. So it'll be a time for you to really see where your emotions are affecting you in other ways. And you'll be able to gain a better perspective of them. And a lot of times that feels like it's a turmoil, but it's not. It's through struggle that we learn our lessons. So struggle through, learn the lesson, and you'll be moving fine. For Ostara, we have important communications coming in. None of these are supposed to be reversed. Important communications coming in, and you're weighing it very realistically. Like, so when communications come in for grand ideas or anything else like that, or love or anything that comes in, you're taking a very intellectual standpoint on it. You're weighing it realistically for what it is. And I see you being very perceptive and quick thinking. So when this comes in, you're going to weigh it very realistically. And you're going to be quick in your perceptions and quick thinking on how to handle this situation. Now, you're not going to waste a whole lot of time pondering anymore. You spent a lot of your life doing that, and then no, you're not going to sit here and outthink yourself this time. You're going to go ahead, get these communications, decide whether that is something you can or cannot do, and then keep moving forward. In between Ostara and Beltane, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn on April 25th. And this is going to feel like certain things are burning to the ground, especially business-related things. Little things that you're having to change, things that weren't working out. They're going to start flaring up. You know, this is too much. This is, you know, I can do this, but this is just too much for me to do on a regular basis. And these are going to be the things that are going to be coming at you that you're going to navigate through the Pluto retrograde. It's a very underlying message, but it is in Capricorn, so there's more of a business sense to that. By Beltane, I see you gaining a very detached perspective on a difficult situation. You are stepping back and genuinely looking at it for what it is, realistically. No glitz and glams, no puppy love infatuation, no new thing excitement. You're really taking your time to really evaluate situations for how they truly are, not letting your little worried mind get over it. And this is talking about struggles with restrictions from old programming. So this is your new step back. I'm going to take a minute to really gain a perspective on this. And the one thing that's going to be kind of triggering you, or that little voice that's going to counterintuitive everything that your intuition's telling you, is going to be that old program of how things are supposed to be versus how they actually are now. Just because things have always been a certain way in the world, things change all the time. And we're going through massive changes globally. So be mindful when you're falling into an old program, or if you're thinking a certain way just because tradition tells you to. Be sure that's not going to override your actual intuition, that you took the time to step back and really evaluate. All right, going from Beltane to Midsummer, we have Saturn going retro in Aqua to Capricorn and back. We have Venus going retro in Pisces, and we have Jupiter going retro in Capricorn as well. This is May 14th is Jupiter, May 11th is Saturn, and Venus goes retrograde on May 13th. This is just a little trifecta that's going to be going on, and it plays right along with this. Jupiter is going to ask you to examine those old philosophies of your life and those old programs that you were running, that the world told you if you just did this, this would work out. Well, it didn't, did it? Because your parents raised you for their world. They didn't raise you for the world that you actually ended up growing into. You can't raise your kids to live in the world that you grew up in. It doesn't exist anymore. So you're starting to really re-examine those philosophies. With Saturn, I only see Saturn being a problem for people who have been trying to cut corners. If you've been trying to find a way to cut corners and not do the work yourself, then you're going to have problems with Saturn, because it's going to blow up in your face. Wherever you tried to cut a corner, it's going to pow, and you're going to have a problem in those areas. If you haven't been trying to cut any corners, Saturn should just glide right through and not really cause you too terrible much of a turmoil, because Aqua and Capricorn are very enlightening. Everything you'll see for what it is, and you'll easily be able to adjust to it. With Venus in Pisces retrograde, it's right coming into the summer. It is, temptations will be high and willpower will be weak. So just be mindful of things that are very tempting, whether it be people or vices, and just be mindful that your willpower may be a little weak. So if you're mindful of it, it won't be weak. That's how you get through it. Also, coming into here, we have our second Mercury retrograde in Cancer, June 8th. And this is X's coming out of the woodwork with Pisces and Saturn and Jupiter and all this going on. This is going to be those people that are coming to distract you from what you're working on. Be mindful. Be mindful of whether those connections leave you feeling good or leave you feeling bad. Because if someone comes around and hypes up all your energy, but then as soon as they're gone, your energy is really low, that's because they just drained all your energy. They're emotional vampires. Watch out for them. People who come in and amp you up, and when you're done, you feel great the rest of the day, and they feel great the rest of the day. Those are genuine soul connections that you want to hold on to and you want to take care of. So going into Midsummer, I see a mastery of art and beauty, intimacy. She's mindful of her words with her hand by her mouth. She's what you can say, she's good at turning the other cheek and not being dragged into drama. This is the Queen of Cups. She's holding her cup steady, and she is just full of that art, beauty, creative energy that comes from emotions that will help you create and manifest into your life. Coming along with her is the Ace of Swords. Victory, power, clarification. So with this energy of how you're presenting yourself as wise and loving and mindful of your words, this energy will bring you victory and more power. I mean, just more power over yourself, and just how you like carry yourself and honor your own personal vows. And this energy is going to carry you through the summer. In between midsummer and August 1st, Lunasa, we have a Neptune retrograde in Pisces on the 23rd of June. And this is going to be shattering illusions. Illusions of things that you thought were one way, but they're not that way. It's going to be shattering of illusions of a dream that you're realizing isn't a realistic dream. It's going to be shattering illusions of love partners, especially with the whole exes coming back into the woodwork. You'll really see people for who they are, and those fears and those phobias can resurface if you're not mindful of what you're doing. For Lunasa on August 1st, Three of Swords, like I said. Exes out of the word work, working through third-party situations. This is a heartfelt pain, a disappointment in how something may have ended, but I see preparations and foresight. So from this pain, I see you really being able to prepare realistic plans that you are able to put into place and manifest good connections, healthy connections, connections with people that will really help you. So this is all about breaking those hard connections that constantly leave you in pain and reaffirming those positive connections that build you up and you build each other up. I just love this card with the star with the dragons. All right, so going from Lunasa into Maboon in September, we have Mars going retro into Aries, September 3rd. I'm an Aries, just to warn you, the energy will want you to just jump at every opportunity. It's going to want to go, 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 go. But if you're not watching your feet, you're going to trip and bust your face. Aries are prone. If you know an Aries, I guarantee they have a scar on their face, and it's probably from childhood when they bashed their face tripping over their own feet and landing on a coffee table or running into a tree or something ridiculous. This is the energy that is going to come into play when that retrograde happens. It's going to want you to run full steam ahead, and don't be so focused on looking ahead that you forget to look at your feet and make sure that you're stepping on solid ground and you're genuinely following your path. So for September 22nd for Maboon, I have a affirming confidence in your skill. You're using your skills to manifest material gain in your world. You're using them well. People appreciate them. That's something that you really enjoy doing, and you're just nurturing that as much as you can coming into Maboon. I do see you struggling with this new transition and struggling with really getting into trusting the transformation process. You guys are stubborn to no end, and I mean dragging you guys along. And if you're traveling with other people or working with other people, Taurus is a very hard energy to work with. You guys are set in your ways hard, and you will do anything for family even if it's detrimental to you. So this is a struggling with these new transitions, and just a little bit of a struggle of this can hold you back from that. But if you don't let it, that's up to you. How much you want to let this energy affect your art and what you're manifesting is all up to you. So just be mindful. If you're mindful of it, then it can't affect you as much as it does somebody who's not mindful and not doing the work to grow. So in between Maboon and Samhain, we have our final Mercury retrograde. This one going from Scorpio to Libra and back again. This is, once again, time to evaluate those relationships still. Because it's Scorpio to Libra and back. It's that hard exterior with the stinger in bottling up emotions and stinging you if you get too close to them, to this very vocalization of your emotions, and then back into, I'm going to sting you if you respond wrong. So just be mindful of that with that Mercury retrograde. And if those are the connections that you're having, reevaluate those relationships. If it's in a relationship that you constantly feel in defense mode, then that's something you really need to watch out for here towards the end of the year, towards September coming into fall. For Samhain, I see for you guys going into the holiday season, a celebration with women, or a celebration through multiple generations. So I see the holiday season really kicking off. Very good for you guys. I see peace between these generations. I see celebrations with these generations all in play and everybody having a good time. I also see that with along this, it's going to give you some time to really pause in your work to reevaluate what directions you're going into. These positive celebrations is going to be a time that you're taking a break from work. And while you're taking this break from work and you may not be putting in as much work because you're working on the holidays, it is a time to reflect and reevaluate what direction you really want to take your work into with the 9 here. See what's binding you, what's holding you back, what's got wrapped around your throat and keeping you from speaking your mind. You know, reevaluate all that, especially when it comes to jobs and job-related stuff. All right. Now, after Samhain, November 4th, Mars goes direct in Aries. It goes redirect in its home sign, and it is all about gaining footing and confidence and time to really start climbing those mountains you've been preparing for. You've put in a lot. You're going to put in a lot of work. I see you guys. I know that you're working hard, and I see you guys putting in this work to get this balance, and that it's going to feel so good when all these planets are finally going straight and you're going good and you finally feel your feet landing and you're confidently walking with your head held high. For your oracle cards, 2 cards came out. The first card is Solitude. And this is all about taking breaks from connections that bombard you. This is all about those people who just keep coming at you, or if you're in social media or whatever, or you're just around. If you feel like people are constantly bombarding you with energy, then this is calling you. When you feel that way, take time for yourself. Take time for yourself to seclude, take a day, even if it's just a couple of hours, do a little solitude ritual and really take time to recenter and reground yourself. Now, while you're regrounding yourself, do not get stuck in this little island of solitude. For if you do try to stick yourself in the little island of solitude for too long, you will get a massive wake-up call. A tsunami will wash you off that island. You cannot stay out of the waves forever. They are going to keep rolling. No matter what we do, Mercury will retrograde 3 times a year. Mars will do it every 2 years. These things will constantly keep happening. So there's no sense in hiding from them. It's okay to take time to hide out for a little bit to process. But you can't stay in isolation. Sooner or later, you have to re-enter the world, or the world will make you. So this is drawing back the curtains of avoidance. Change is coming, whether your stubborn ass wants it to or not. So it's easier, if you know the waves are coming, to embrace them. Don't draw the curtain and try to avoid them, because then they will just roll you. All right, Taurus, that is your Wheel of the Year guide to the planetary retrogrades for 2020. If this helped you out, please hit the like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll put the links to follow us on Facebook for more free cards and coffee and games that we play over there, and daily affirmations and spells and all that fun stuff. And I will talk to you later.